Hello, this is Dr. Linda Davis, and today I want to work on some JavaScript for CIS 340. And this is just a simple example where we have a web page, and sometimes mouseover is called image swap, and you'll see when I take the mouse and I drive over the image, it changes to another image. In this case, she's preparing to be tossed, and then we just mouse over, no clicking involved, and she's up in the air with the next photo. Okay, so let's look at the code for this, and I'll just quickly bring up view source, let you see it. And just a simple web page. We didn't even put the doc type in this time, just HTML, head, and within the head we're going to put the CSS in there. We've already done a little CSS anyway with a background color. And I've also added something new in here too. It's called resize, and that's when you've got images that maybe of various sizes, but you want to tell them to be a certain size. So we get a width of 305 pixels and a height, we just set it to auto, and I'll take the images and put them in this particular proportion. So if it's the width is fixed obviously, but it'll make the height whatever it needs to be in proportion. So that's a nice trick to be able to do. We end the CSS style there, and then we end the head, and then after title we actually start our JavaScript. So this is script type equals text JavaScript is something new for you. And then our first function, we'll do an image over, and we have this document.getElementById, and then we plug in the image name, and then we have another function down here called image out, and again document.getElementById, and we put our other image in there. The original image is this one, and the second image that pops up is this one. And we end our script, our JavaScript there, which is a end of script tag, and then we start the body of the web page, and then we have href in there that ties in with our on mouse over, image over, on mouse out, image out, and the image source is cheer to start with, and class, we put the class in there for resize so that it will resize that image, and the alt is cheer, and so on and so forth in that. And then also make sure you have your ending a element here, and then we just put a simple h1 tag, beginning and ending tag there, end of body, end of HTML. So let's recreate this and see how it works. I hope you can see it well enough on your own monitors. Let me just launch Notepad, and we'll start at the top with our opening HTML tag, and then our head tag, and then our style type equal to our text. This is obviously for CSS, and then we'll put body, that's just for CSS of course, or open curly brace there, and put in some background color. We just used a gray on this one, or silver I should say. Actually within CSS there's about 18 colors or 17 colors that it recognizes. We can just put silver in there without having to put an actual code in. So closed curly brace there, and then go down and we can do our dot resize, which is going to take care of resizing the image. And put the width in there of 305. You can go back and change that just to see how that works with a different size in there. Height, we said we're going to leave it at auto, and close curlies there, and end of style. Okay, and then we'll go down to title tag, and we're just going to say image swap, and in the title. And then let's go down to our JavaScript start. So script type equals, so it'll know it's JavaScript because there's more than one kind of script. Text JavaScript. Now JavaScript is case sensitive, so you'll see some camel case along the way, so pay attention to that. We'll put our first function in for JavaScript. The image over, notice the O in over is capitalized. And then we'll have the document dot get element by ID, and look at the camel case going on in here. Pay attention to that. And then we'll put our first image in, which is cheer2.jpg. And we'll have our close curly there. And we'll do another function, is image out. That's a capital O and then a lowercase ut. So make sure again you get your camel case going on. Open curlies, and again kind of replicate that previous function we did. Get element by ID. .src. Now this time we're going to put the original image in, which is just cheer.jpg. Close curlies, and then end of script. Next, and then that's end of head. And we want to get down to the body. Got a little bit more to do in there. We're going to put an href in there. And we're going to put the number symbol in there. And we're going to say on mouse over equals image over. Again, camel case is going on. Some things are single quotes, some things are double quotes. And then on mouse out, img out. Oops, we get the right one in there. There we go. And then we put our image source in there that you're used to seeing. And that is lowercase class. Yeah. Now put our class in there so it will resize the images, and put your alt in there and your ID in there. And backslash ending angle bracket. And you're not done yet though, of course, with your href until you put your end of a element there. And then put your simple h1. We're almost done here. h1, this is our mouse over or image swap example. End of h1. Oops, let me get the right one in there. End of body. End of HTML. And hopefully didn't have any mistypes in there. I'll just scan it briefly. It's rare that we get all the way through one of these the first time anyway without some typing errors along the way. But that's just part of debugging it. Oh, I see a double one there I don't need. It's like another double one there. Okay, so we'll save this one, and let's make sure I get it in the right folder, the JavaScript folder. I'm going to call it image swap.html. Yes, I want to replace it. And let's take a look at it in the browser and see if it'll display for us. And let me just exit out of this one. And let me exit out of this one so we get the right one up. and get all these off of there and start fresh. And let's see, let me go back to our correct folder for this particular class, 340 online, and there's our JavaScript folder, and I think we called it image swap, and let me make sure it's the exact one we were just working on. Yep, that's about the time. Alright, so let's launch this and see how it looks. Okay, we have a gray background, we have an image and some text, and let me drive over it. Yay, it worked. Okay, so we're over here, and then we mouse over, and the next image pops right up, and it's also kept it, you know, they're the same size. It works best if you keep the images the same height and width if you can. A lot of times you'll see this on the web when they may have a button that's just a regular looking kind of button, and then when you mouse over it, it lights up. So that's another use for image swap. Let's toy with it just a bit. Let's go down and show some resize choices in Notepad. I think I did exit out of that. Alright, let me just bring it back up. And yeah. Easier this way, I guess. Right click, open with Notepad to change some things. On the images, I thought we could go in here and do this. We could go up and, you know, change the width of the image. Okay, it's 305 pixels right now. It's kind of big, so if you want to check it down to 105 just to see the difference, we can do that. And of course, auto takes care of itself, so just save that change, go back to our page and refresh, and notice how it makes our image you know, now just 105, and it kept it in proportion. It still works just like it did before, it's just we've got smaller images to work with. So that's resize is a nice trick to be able to do in CSS actually. So that's 2 lessons in 1. Alright, I hope that helps, and I hope you can see the code, figure out the code, and proof the code so it works out for you. Thank you.